as we get ready to introduce on stage secure multi-generational teams, outdated rules, time to rewrite the script. Put your hands together and welcome on stage, dear Hayes-Burke.
Good morning. 5 generations. 5 generations, one workforce, and thousands of unspoken tensions. Yet our HR policies were written in a time where fax machines ruled the office. So how do we create future-ready teams on policies for a generation that no longer exists? There are 5 generations that we are leading now, and they operate side by side, each with different values, different perspectives, different communication styles, different definitions of success. But those policies were created for a generation that used to be the majority. They weren't designed for Gen Zs or millennials. So we're in 2025, leading teams with 1995 rules, and somehow everybody thinks we are supposed to be surprised that it's not working. Because people aren't always the problem, it's your policy. Outdated rules create bias, and those are the saboteurs of innovation, success, cultural shift. Because those policies that we like that seems neutral, well, those cause problems within our team because they reflect one generation's worldview and ignores everybody else. That's the real reality. So your 9 to 5, your heels, your stockings, your desk time equals you doing your work. All those things are reflective of one person's comfort zone, and it ignores everyone else. And we're saying it's fair, but one size fits all fits no one. And will continue to make your organizations a revolving door. So we must now think that equity means options and not restrictions. Let me give an example. Let's call him Jordan. Jordan is 25, energetic, enthusiastic. He is out here looking for an opportunity to contribute. But in his company, like maybe yours, they favor seniority. So they ignore Jordan until Jordan say, you know what, I'm done with this. 3 months later, bye, deuces. Those stories sound familiar, right? And we say young people are not committed, right? But that is not the reality. They want to be valued. That's the other side of it. Sharon, she's in your company. She's 20 years in. But her young millennial manager says Sharon is old. She don't know what she's talking about. And our new policy means that we have no space for her. So Sharon said, I'm saying nothing. Don't ask me nothing. I'm not sharing any information. And when you make your mistakes, do not come to me. Is she difficult? No, she's not. She wants to be valued, but her manager felt empowered by policy. So when you as a manager are looking at your policies and you think, man, I'm losing direction, I'm losing productivity, you're also losing ideas, voices, and connections. You are silencing your people. So it is time for us to start thinking about how we can make shifts in our policies, because if your leadership it stands on its policy, guess what? You're not leading. You're gatekeeping. And quite frankly, you're using your policy to hide your bias.
Wow.
So it's time to rewrite the script. It's time to rewrite the script, starting with those policies that you have never questioned, because they become the most dangerous in your organizations. We have to ask ourselves, are we compliant or are we relevant? Have you ever done a generational audit? It's time to check the generations that are in your workplace and ask yourself whose needs are being met and whose are copiously invisible. Then bring those voices to the table. Not as a token item, not as a check the box item, but include them in co-creating your policies. Because that's where real inclusion happens. We must need to understand that rigid rules break people. Can I say that again?
Yes.
Rigid rules break people. So whether it is work from home, flexible work hours, shifting roles, you need to create policies and systems that stretch without snapping. That's what we need to do. We need to move from compliance, because you can check all the compliance boxes and still fail your people. Build policies that encourage people to maximize their potential and to not simply exist. Because if you want excellence, you need to stop asking people to shrink to fit your systems. You need to write policies that empowers them to actualize all the values that they can bring. Because when every generation thrives, success becomes a shared outcome. So the future of work is going to be written by bold leaders who write rules with equity, empathy, and excellence at the center. So I'm going to ask you, what script are you willing to rewrite?